at the point where you think about it. Are you comfortable with books and computers and not so much with humans? You might be a green. What about this? Do you spend more time thinking about things than acting on them? Well, if you answered yes to any of these, like I said, you might be a green. Green personalities always know the answer, though. They know everything there is to know about the comp plan, about the products. If you have a question, you go to the green. Green personalities, they're very loyal to the business once you get them in the business because they've researched it. They know that this is the best comp plan. They know that we have the best products because they know everything there is to know about all that. Greens on a family vacation. They have research. They know how far it is between each gas station. They know every gas station on the route. They know which one has the cheapest gas. The family vacation is scheduled, and I'm talking about everything they do. There's no spontaneity. It's all scheduled. Straight up greens, they don't do fashion well. Why do they not do fashion? Because there's not a manual. Greens don't dance. Nope, because there's too much process. It's too complicated. They're thinking about, okay, I need to lift my left foot 5.5 centimeters while I shift my weight a little bit onto this foot. They just can't do it because it's too much for them to think about and to process. Okay, so when we're prospecting, okay, say you're a blue personality, which a blue personality is somebody that's the party man, the party person. They love to party, they love to talk, they love to be with people. And if you're a blue personality and you go up to a green personality and you tell them, you need to join my company because we have parties, we go here, we go there, we see all these people, you just lost the green person because they are not interested in that. They don't want to be around people. They don't go to parties. So you got to speak their language. You got to say data. You got to say facts. You got to say figures, logic, analyze, examine. Those are words that resonate with them. It's hard for a green to open up. I want to read something. This is very exaggerated, but this is how you would ask a green personality to an opportunity meeting. Would you please come to the meeting tomorrow night that we're having? I need your opinion. We're going to sit way in the back of the room where nobody will bother us. Nobody will ask us to join. Oh yeah, bring a big notebook. There'll be lots of information. And hopefully by the end of the meeting, we'll have enough information to begin our preliminary research. Cha-ching, you got the green. That's their language when you talk to them like that. So how do you get to know people when you meet them and you talk to them? Well, there's a few things that you can talk to them about. You can ask them what they do for a living and listen to them and what they say, hear what they're saying. But sometimes that's not foolproof just because sometimes people are in a job that is not really their personality. So you got to go a little bit further. You have to ask them, well, what do you do in your free time? And listen to them, and because they do what they like in their free time. So talk to them and listen to what they say what they do in their free time. And then you can ask them, what do you like the most about your job or your hobbies? And those answers should help you to understand, you know, if they're a green personality or what personality they are. You can use those questions when you're talking to anybody. A lot of times when you meet a blue, you're probably going to know them right off the bat because they're the ones that like to talk. But anyway, that's a little bit about a green personality. There's just a few things that, you know, if you can keep in your mind that is that personality when you meet them, you'll be able to recognize them. And we have, is Lauren on here, Tammy?
Yeah, I believe she is.
Okay. We have Lauren Vincent. She's a silver from Indiana, and she is green, and she's going to tell us how that helps her work her business. So go ahead, Lauren.
Hi, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. I was rushing back from work, and so I didn't have my video on for like my first 10 minutes that I plugged into this call. So let's see. I'm trying to, how do I see myself too? Okay. So let's see a little bit where to start. I'm a personable green. So I am like an extroverted green. So I'm not the one to sit in the back of the room. I'm in the front. I'm asking questions. So I'm a mix. Okay. So when, people have put that on their walls, like, hey, what color are you? And even when I was thinking about it, I'm like, I'm probably about 85% green. I'm probably about a 10% yellow, and I'm probably about a 5% red. And even just like saying it in percentages, I'm probably a green personality. So with that, I took a few notes of, so I'm not scatterbrained because I worked a lot today. So, a little background on me is that I was really skeptical of plexus to begin with. I wanted nothing to do with it at all. And so that was not appealing to me. And so when I actually took the time and looked into articles and facts and information, because I said, okay, making a lot of money, yeah, that sounds good, but I'm skeptical of that. Show me how you make money. Show me the comp plan. When, I'm really sciencey in nature, I'm a huge nerd. And so I love research. And so when I saw people posting articles about gut health and articles that weren't published by Plexus and had nothing to do with Plexus, that made me pay attention more. And so I remember reading, and I even had 2 sisters and a mom that were already into Plexus. And I said, no, I don't want to do it. But I knew how unhealthy my gut was, especially when I learned about leaky gut, and I learned all the different things, and I learned about how Plexus products were natural and plant-based. And then I researched, I looked through the labels before I bought any, so even my knowledge in the products themselves made me want to try even more than the trust I had in my sisters. And so that was really what made me decide to jump in with Plexus, was articles and research and digging that up myself. And so when I found people on Facebook posting articles, through all the scrolling that I did, and I had my sister's friends that are, talking about Plexus and things like that. So that's what made me decide, okay, Plexus is worth another look because these products do work. So the crazy testimonies caught my eye, but didn't really do it for me. The trips to Hawaii and having fun, I like to have fun, but that didn't really do it for me. Making a lot of money, appealing, but didn't really do it for me. And helping people, I do that every day in my job. I have a very service-oriented job. I'm an athletic trainer, so sports medicine. And that incorporates in my personality. But, helping people is great, and that's kind of the main gist of it. But helping people in knowing how the products work is why I got into Plexus. And so I first learned that I was a green personality from that video of the 4 diamonds that talk about the 4 different personality colors. And when Rachel Neagle, who's a diamond ambassador and a self-proclaimed green, talked, I think she was the 3rd to talk. So first it was blue, and they talked about all having fun, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. And then they went into yellow, and they talked about helping people, and I was like, yeah, my heart should be there, and I do want to help people. And then she hopped on talking about green personalities, and I said, that's me. Research and methodical, and you're overwhelmed at first because everybody's make your list of 100, and I'm like, I don't know what that means, so methodical, inside the box, give it to me straight, facts, things like that. I'm like, that's who I am. And so, and then the red got on there, and, she was talking about being a powerhouse and being self-motivated. So I think I have a little essence of that, but the main part is that I just am a nerd and I'm a self-proclaimed nerd, and I love it. So with that, knowing that, I'm looking at my notes here, just knowing that like greens are going to be a little bit more methodical. So I joined Plexus last July. I had taken the products on and off through my sister, but I joined as an ambassador in July 2016, and it's been slow. A, because of my job, and B, because greens are slow. Greens are going to be slow. They need to take their time. I feel like I had to be fully prepared before I sent out cold messages. I needed to understand the comp plan. I just need to understand everything. So greens are going to be slow, and if you push them, they might push back because they just want to take, we just want to take our time. And I'd be interested to read the book because this is just my own personality. So this is not going to be every green. This is just from, you know, my perspective. And so take this with a grain of salt, but I'm interested to read that book as well. So I'm not an expert anyway, but this is just my kind of perspective on it. So yeah, we greens are going to be really methodical. And we're not going to be your fast track reds. We're not going to be your go-getters. We're not going to be like your rock stars until like we've been around for 7 or 8 months. And then we like took off, you know what I mean? Like you're going to be the slow runners, but we're going to be consistent. And so just like that, you know, when you talk about getting a lot of people excited about Plexus and then people say they have attrition problems or people are like leaving their team, when you get greens on your team, they're not going to be your rock stars that do the fast track in a month. They're not going to be, but they're going to not ever leave you, you know, so they're just going to garner all this information and learn all the way along and then, you know, finally put it to good use. And everybody's at different pieces, but they might just need a little bit more encouragement because they're not as like go-getter as the and fun-loving as the blues and the reds. So moving on to prospecting, when I'm prospecting as a green personality, so this is me projecting onto people and prospecting, the pro is that I have a lot of product knowledge. Like I'm a nerd. I love watching the videos. If you want to learn from Rachel Neagle on their YouTube channels called Voices of Experience. So there's Voices of Experience, and we posted like the Carissa Casey one. There's Sarah Marble. Rachel Neagle, and her last name is Neagle. And she has a great video. It's 45 minutes long, and she talks about the triplex, and it gets into it. And it's a little boring, but it like is all really good product knowledge. So, so the good thing is that people will come at me with, okay, prove how your product is good. And I'm like, all right, here you go. So with that, like I can answer a lot of questions that come on our team. Like I'm nowhere near an expert. I haven't been in this for that long, but I also have done my research and I'm pretty confident if I put an answer out, it's probably, you know, just like Kim said, like we're probably going to have the last answer because we're pretty confident about it. And so that's a good thing. The other thing with that is that I've learned, like, I have such trust in the products and I don't have to prove anything. So a lot of the time, like, it's probably not a great thing, but if someone is like, you know, I'm still not sure, I kind of have a quiet confidence about it. And I'm like, I've given you all the information that I have and I know that my project is good. So usually I'll let them mull on it and they'll come right back because I'm not pushy. And so that's probably also a con. So 2 cons of that is that being a green is that I'm not going to be your fun-loving blue and your red. And so getting people is a little harder because I'm just not, you know, having all the exclamation points and all the emojis and things like that. I'm not as vibrant and like, you know, fluffy with how I prospect, you know, like I'm so excited to get on my team. Like that's kind of not me. I you know, I'm all facts and information and kind of boring sometimes. But the problem is that I want to give too much information, you know, like, oh, I'm interested in the slim drink. And I'm like, I want to throw 5 graphics at them in like 3 videos in an article. Not good. Not good. So there are definitely times I look back when I was like 2 months in and I vomited Plexus like a lot. because I'm like, this is awesome. Why don't you understand this? And they're like, that's not my thing, you know. And even recently I had someone interested in the probiotic, and I sent them like the product label, because that's the first thing. I'm like, what's in this? You know? So if someone asks like, what's in your product? Why is it different? You know, are there any studies about it? That's going to be your green personality. And so like, they didn't even ask for a product label, and I was like, here's what's in it. And they're like, I don't know what that means. Like, I was like, oh, well, and so I was like, well, at least you can be confident that I know what's in the probiotic. And so they kind of laughed at that, so it smoothed it over, and I was like, that is not up their alley. So you can kind of gauge it from that. I think everybody, regardless of personality, should probably know what they're taking. You know, so, but like, you know, I sent it to one, and she was just like, yeah, I have no clue what that label says.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right then. So she just wanted to know what is it going to do for her, you know.
It's going to work for me. That's all I wanted to know. And I've disabled my camera so y'all can't see me. But Lauren, I'm so blue. I'm like, ordered it, didn't taste it, didn't research it, didn't look at it. I'm like, okay, if it worked for you, I guess it'll work for me. And I just started taking it.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy to you, isn't it?
It's crazy. I'm like, oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. Yeah, that's so funny when people just dive in. And so like that goes into the spontaneity thing. Like I think I've done like a handful of spontaneous things in my life, you know, like if I have a gift card, I've researched how to spend it, you know, like it's true. Like if I had an iTunes gift card, I went through and I planned all songs that I was going to spend, and I spend the iTunes gift card like on one spot, but I have known all the songs I want to pick. It's crazy, but that's me. Okay, so I could go on a tangent with how much I research, but I do. It soothes me. I like to know what's going on. Anyways, so yeah, the cons is that I just want to give too much info, like all the time. So I really have to reel that in and like slow that down a bit. So yeah, so when you're prospecting and you don't know what color they fall into, and you're like, okay, is this person a green or not? Usually if they say, okay, I'll have to look into this, or, you know, I'm going to do some research on this, or, hey, like, what information do you have? And sometimes if you ask, hey, how much information are you comfortable with? Do you want to watch a video? Do you want some articles? And so I'll kind of give them like an option of 3 choices. And I had one person was like, lay it on me. Give me everything you have. I'm like, all right then. So, and if they're like, you know what, I don't have time, like maybe give me some testimonies, but, you know, just, you know, kind of on the fence. Usually if they're green, they'll be self-motivated to research if they're really interested. So just give them kind of what they want and what they ask for. And so especially someone who says, yeah, I'll look into this, or I'm going to do some research, or what kind of other articles do you have, or something like science-y like that, they're probably a green personality. And if they're not a green personality, you do not want to send them all that stuff, because you're going to frighten them away with all that research, because they just, like Datha, like they don't care. So that's kind of what I have. Like I said, that's just me, you know, but I'm like 26, and so I got into this because it's just has really good products, and I believe in what the products are. And so even if I'm not like super vivacious about it, I'm going to stick with it because I know A, it can help people, but B, it's just a good product to be behind, whether you're taking the Slim or the ProBio or the Nerve. Like every ingredient has a purpose in there, and learning about each ingredient and why it works together is that much more interesting to me. So that's kind of what I have. I hope I didn't ramble on too much, but I am your extroverted green type. So I'll tell it like it is, and I have a little redness in there, but the majority of me is green. So yeah, there you go.
Qualities. But that's great. I do have a green. She's a friend. She's also an ambassador that couldn't be on tonight, and she, like, if she had to do what you did tonight, she would be physically sick. If she had to talk in front of people, she gets physically sick. I mean, to the point she wants to
no.
she gets red. So she's definitely not a people person. But It is, I mean, I think you can see just from what we've talked about tonight how important and how valuable this could be to us when we're prospecting. So, Datha, do you have anything else you want to say?
Well, Jason's trying to fix my camera, but I do want to say, Lauren, you're a rock star. Everything you said, I cannot imagine how many hundreds of people I scared away by saying, okay, come on, we're going to message 100 people. Let's do this. And you can't do that.
No.
I wish I had known about this when I first started. And I think I would have had a lot more ambassadors that would have stuck with me. But I'm just really blue with a little bit of red mixed in. So it blows me away, like in the beginning. And what you said that resonated with me is you didn't really care about the car or the trip or the money. I mean, it's perks. It's fine. And so we don't need to lead with that if we're talking to a green or a yellow. I mean, we just need to be able to understand who we're talking to so we can give them the information they need. I think this is brilliant. You're an absolute rock star. I love what you said, and there's no doubt you're going to go to the top. You might have a slower climb, but there are lots of diamonds that are green.
That's right.
Because like you said, you're not going anywhere. You believe in the products, you know they work, and now I know who to call when I need some information about product ingredients. Because I'm not that girl. I have to look it up and I save it on my phone. But that was just brilliant. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Can I say something, Datha?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say that I think it's so important that we're doing this because identifying for sure what you are is going to play in your favor because like Lauren, for example, the cars and the trips and the fun does not appeal to her, but because it doesn't appeal to her doesn't mean she doesn't hold that back from her prospects. So she knows that that is a con for her because that's not her thing, that even more so her post and when she's talking to people needs to show that because she's probably more than anything pushing product information, all that stuff out, and all of her audience is not green.
Right.
That does not appeal to everybody. So knowing what she is tells her, okay, I know I'm not red, yellow, or blue, but I still need to put that out there so my red audience, my blue audience, and my yellow audience might actually be interested in some of my stuff. But if I'm constantly putting out green, it's turning them off. So knowing what you are, I think that's the value in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I look back at my beginning posts, like, so I joined in July and I think I got more like on the road in August, but I look back and I was all product. Like it was like, this is a great product and you should know why. And, you know, and I think it's important to have product information in your posts because if you're always posting about the trips to Hawaii, I'm not going to care. If you're always posting about, you know, you're so excited or this is how many people I've helped, that's kind of going to interest me. But I'm like, okay, what are your motives for getting into this? And then, you know, if you're just kind of screaming at me or like, you should do this, I'm like, no. So like, show me the facts, like show me the Carfax, you know, show me the Carfax and then maybe we can talk. And so, but yeah, once you have us, you're going to have us for a long time. So, yeah, just, you know, it's good to have product knowledge because if you're so excited about something that you can't explain, you're going to lose a green. You know, if you're saying, why is your ProBio the best and you can't explain, like, okay, nerd alert. Like if you're like, my ProBio is fantastic and a green is like, okay, why?
Yeah, that's why I have that saved on my phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're like, why is my probiotic the best? And a green is like, okay, why? Like, tell me how. And then you can't explain that you got 5 probiotics, 4 enzymes, and antifungal. And guess what? That chitosanase that I can't pronounce, chitosanase enzyme that actually breaks down the chitin so you even have a chance to get rid of bad bacteria. Like, then I'm going to be like, oh, that's good. Okay, then, like, let me sign up, you know? So, like, if you can't explain that, and so you just give it in tidbits. So everybody's going to be like, okay, why? And if you're like, well, it's got 5, 4, and 1. And they're like, oh, that's awesome. Like, let me sign up. And if they're like, okay, well, what kind of enzymes? You know, if they keep asking questions, Like,
we're sending them to you. If they keep asking questions, we're going to say, okay, I have this lady that knows everything about everything.
Yes.
Then send them to me. Yes, exactly. So like, if you can't answer questions, like if you're like, everybody should know product knowledge.
Yeah. Several years ago, I owned a business. It was like a shop, like ladies' shop. It had candles and different things in it. And people would come in, I don't know, they might come in as many as 3 times before they made a decision to buy something. And I'm not talking about a huge purchase. It was maybe just a candle. And I was like, what the crap? Why can you not just get it if you want it? If you don't, you know, I could not. I was like, just make a decision, you know, but we're all so different. And this is crucial for us to understand who we're talking to.
It's crucial. And this is recorded tonight, so I will put it up as soon as I can download it. And so just encourage all your team to really watch it. And I'm excited what this is going to do for our businesses, to know how to identify who we're talking to and what information to give them. So I hate that I can see y'all, but y'all can't see me. Sorry.
Yeah. One last thing that I want to add is when you're figuring out who the person is, if you ask them, what makes you interested in Plexus? What makes you interested? If they're like, well, I really need a probiotic and I'm interested, what ingredients are in yours? Maybe a green. Yeah. And they want to research. If they're like, man, I saw that trip about Hawaii. Like, what's that about? Okay. If they just want some more energy, but they're just like, you know, I really don't, I just want energy. Like, I don't really care what's in it. Like, give it to me straight. And they're probably, you know, yellow or blue. I don't really know. But basically, if they're like, I want research and I want to know why. And so just that kind of gets you into their health goals, but also gets you maybe in a bit of their personality. Yeah. Just be like, all I want is to know how to make money. Probably a red. So, things like that. I've probably watched that diamond video with the 4 diamonds and the 4 color personalities probably about 5 times because I'm a green and I like research. So anyways, that's me. I'm going to stop talking.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Kim, for leading this about green. Next Tuesday night, we are going to hear from Amy Hott, and we're going to learn all about the blue personality, which I am a blend. I'm a blue-red with a smidgen of yellow. So I'm no green at all, so I'm learning. It's super, super important for me to learn about a green. So I hope you all join us next week, and y'all have a great night. Thanks to Kim. Thanks to Lauren.
Bye.
I'm waving and blowing kisses. This makes me so mad.